Man had only gone on a business trip, but he was ruthlessly abandoned by his wife. After much difficulty, he hardened his heart and prepared to sign the divorce agreement. However, just as he was halfway through signing, the pen in his hand ran out of ink. Left with no choice, he had to go to the supermarket in his bathrobe to buy a new pen. Unfortunately, on his way home, he accidentally dropped the new pen on the road. As he bent down to pick it up, a car directly collided with him. When he regained consciousness, he found himself in the hospital. The first thing that caught his eye was an unfamiliar woman. However, what surprised him was that the woman was full of concern and tenderness towards him. After a brief conversation, Nick learned that she was the perpetrator of this accident. But looking at her beautiful face, Nick not only had no resentment but even invited her to dinner despite his injuries. Through this back and forth, Laura began to develop a special affection for Nick. However, when she learned that Nick was already married, reason made her quickly choose to restrain herself. But out of guilt, Laura specially invited Nick and his wife to dine at her restaurant on its opening day. The opening day quickly arrived. Nick dressed up meticulously and arrived at Laura's restaurant full of anticipation. When he tasted the dishes Laura personally cooked, the unique flavor instantly conquered his taste buds. He generously gave a perfect score. During their conversation, Laura learned that Nick had already returned to being single. This news was like a spark that instantly ignited the long-suppressed love in their hearts. The next morning, as Nick was about to leave, he inadvertently saw Laura's Michelin chef certificate. Only then did he realize how outstanding Laura was. This huge gap made a wave of panic surge in his heart. So, he instinctively wanted to escape. But just at that moment, Laura suddenly called out to him and bravely revealed her feelings. At this instant, Nick's heart was moved by this sincerity and courage. From then on, they embarked on a romantic love journey. However, this sweet love nearly came to an end due to the issue of children. Nick was full of anticipation about starting a family with Laura and also yearned to have the crystallization of their love. But Laura candidly expressed that she was not yet ready to welcome a child. Faced with this disagreement, Nick did not want to delay the issue. So, he decided to honestly express his thoughts to Laura before completely falling into this relationship. However, Laura was unwilling to be held hostage by love and did not want to consider the issue of children at this time. At the same time, Nick's urgent plan also made her feel greatly disrespected. So, the two parted on bad terms. To salvage this broken love, he went to apologize to Laura on her birthday. He sincerely confessed to Laura that he had realized his previous thoughts had deeply hurt her. Love is the fusion of souls. Time is not for mechanically completing things but for wholeheartedly experiencing and feeling. Some things should just develop naturally, although others may not fully understand the deep meaning. Laura heard the full apology and sincerity. In the end, she chose to forgive him, to let their families witness their happy moment. They invited both sets of parents to gather together and held a simple yet exceptionally warm wedding. But just as they were immersed in this joy, a sudden accident interrupted everything.